Okay. Hey, y'all. Woo! I'm here as promised. Mind's up, mind's up. Tonight is a night that my intention for you guys is to actually help you to open up your mind, to empower your life, and to answer any questions that you may have about shifting what it is that you see taking place in your life today. As we know, everything has to do with your mind. There are three things that are needed to create a prosperous and successful life. And the three things that you need, hey Shashai, please share this. The three things that you need is your mindset has to be wired, your skill set has to be wired, and your get off your ass sets have to be wired. And I say get off your assets because if you don't take action towards what it is that you say you want in your life, you're going to continue to stay in this very same place that you're stuck in right now called unhappiness. And we're not here to be unhappy. We're here to be prosperous, powerful, and live in our purpose. And we're here to help each other rise and raise the vibration for humanity so that we can change everything that we see. Now, I know a lot of people are stuck in the stigma like, there's no way that we can change the world. All of these shootings, killings. And the reason why we can't change it is because most people are so focused on the wrong things. So rather than us actually being focused on seeing world peace, seeing things come together for the good, seeing things shift in another direction, and us actually coming together as one in humanity to actually change the things that we see, you're absolutely correct. Nothing can change until we change what needs to be changed. And it starts in our minds. So I'm going to turn this down just a little bit because I don't want to feel like I'm screaming. And I know you guys might hear a little echo in the background, and it's because I am still in the classroom. Hey, Javon, mine's up, mine's up, mine's up to you. That's one of my partners, one of my clients. He's a mindset makeover. That's what he does. He's also a mindset coach. So you guys are definitely going to enjoy this live. So the first thing that I wanted to share with you guys is the fact that there are actually many reasons why your life appears the way that it does. But the first question that I have to ask you guys is, what do you believe? And I want you guys to answer it in the chat box. I'm going to try to see if I can get on my laptop and see this live as well so that I can hear. Because I think it's probably a little bit more accurate on Facebook as to who's here and who's not, or whatever. But anyway, so I want to know, what do you believe is the reason why your life looks the way that it looks to you right now? What do you think is actually in the way of the world looking the way that it does today? What do you think is actually in the way? Do you think that it's the mindsets of people? Do you think that it's the way that people have been raised? Do you think that it's the economy? What do you believe is the reason why things look the way that they do, or the way that your life is the way that it is today, or the way that the world is today? So I'm going to keep going because I'm not sure if I'm getting delayed answers on this or not. I'm just going to keep going, okay? So let's talk about the top external blames that people believe is the reason for why we see things the way that we see things actually taking place in the world, or why people believe what they see happening in their life is happening. So one of the top, I'm going to try to get this in front of me so you guys can see me without me looking all distracted. But okay. Yes, me too, Shasha. I believe that this world can be a better place. And I also believe that it is becoming a better place. But what has to happen is we have to get rid of all the old paradigms, all of the old thinking and all these old things that are taking place. All of those things got to go first in order for us to begin, seeing what it is that we really want to see change. And I totally am with you, and I strongly believe that things will change. So let's talk about the top external blames. So the first external blame that most people think is the reason why our world looks the way that it does today is the economy. That's like the number one belief or blame that most people believe. The second one is personal finances. People think that their personal finances is the reason why their life, their life looks the way that it looks today. I'm still trying to get this thing set up so I don't have to hold it. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just making a bigger mess. All right. Y'all see me? I'm over here dropping more stuff. All right. Okay. So the third one, top external blames for the reason that your life is the way that it is. Relationships, divorce. That's the number 3 reason why external blame that people think that their life is the way that it is. Family. People think that family is the reason why their life looks the way that it looks. Then there's politics. We can't leave out politics. People believe that because of the political officials is the reason why our life looks the way that it looked today, or your life looks the way that it looks today. Media, programming, you guys know we're being hypnotized every single day. That is another external blame, because we blame everything outside of us. So that's another external blame. And another top external blame is education. We feel that education is another top external blame for the reason why your life looks the way that it looks today, or the world looks the way that it looks today. So what happens is when you believe that these things are the reason that you are being held back, or the reason why your life looks the way that it looks, or the reason why you can't accomplish your goals and your dreams and all of that wonderful stuff that you're trying to do, when you believe these things hold you back, guess what? They do. They do hold you back, because you hold so strongly onto the belief that that is the reason why things are not working out for you. And the universe ends up showing you more reasons why that is true, because that is in fact what you are believing. So when you are believing these things, there are certain emotions that are actually holding your success hostage. Is it right that they're holding your success hostage? No. But how can we fix it? That's the question. The question is to how to fix it. Okay, Shasha, I'm going to answer that question for you in just a moment. You said, what do I believe? I'll tell you what I believe in a moment. As we go through this, you're going to recognize what I believe, because I'm actually going to share with you what I believe. Actually, it's not even what I believe, it's what I know, Yes, we are our own worst enemies. Yes, Shakima, that is absolutely correct. And I'm not sure if I'm getting y'all messages all delayed. Y'all know how Facebook is. I don't got nothing to do with it. It's nothing I can do. But as I get them, I promise to answer them the best way that I can as I get your answers. I'm gonna try something real quick and see if this helps me at all. Probably not. I was just trying to shift something, but anyway. Okay, so yes, we do. In fact, we hold ourselves back. Yes, we are our own worst enemy, because we are believing all of these sabotaging things, all of these beliefs, all of these things we just holding on to, and we holding ourselves hostage. But what ends up happening is not only do we hold ourselves hostage, we're holding the success that we are entitled to Ransom Rap says that he's his biggest problem. And that's okay, Ransom, because you know what? We're going to talk about that, and we're going to get deeper into why you believe that you are your biggest problem. And you can definitely type it up right now, why you believe that you are your biggest problem. And you're absolutely correct, Shasha. We cannot be blaming things on people or blaming other people about our problem. That's absolutely correct, because we are the problem ourselves, based on what we are believing, based on what we are thinking, and based on the emotions that we're emanating in the process of what it is that we're speaking, thinking, and believing. So the inner emotions that actually hold your success hostage. Let's talk about these emotions. Fear, doubt, shame, guilt, resentment, hatred, and jealousy. Yes. Tell me about it. All of these emotions are so dangerous and detrimental to our success. Yes, insecurities. Yes, Shakima, insecurities. All of these things. Give me some more. If you guys got some more, what other emotions do you feel actually hold our success hostage? What else? Yes, don't forget unhappiness. Yes, but Shasha, let's ask the question. When we say unhappiness is an emotion, unhappiness is actually a result of the emotion that you feel when you think and speak what it is that you're thinking and speaking and how you feel. So unhappiness is the end result of, of that particular story that we've been telling ourselves. So all of these emotions are basically programs that our mind has accepted. And once we understand that the only true emotion that will heal everything is love, because everything else is mind control. So fear, doubt, shame, guilt, resentment, hatred, jealousy, all these things. Thank you, Ransom, for sharing that. Fear, absolutely. All of these things are mind control. So you got to think about this, right? When we came out of our mother's wombs, did we know anything about racism or how to hate people? These were all things that were taught to us. We were taught these things, and because we were taught these things, we adopted the belief that these things are absolutely true. We hold true to them. We hold a stick firm value that that's what it is, and because we hold true to them, that's why they become true for us. And that's what has to change. So if we don't change that, we're doomed. We're doomed. So let's talk a little bit about mind control. So I'm going to share with you that in everyday society, right, people are influenced in numerous ways. People are influenced to buy certain products when we watch commercials. People are influenced to vote for certain politicians. People are influenced to eat certain foods, etc., etc. Mind control, or brainwashing, is what I like to call it, but it is mind control at the end of the day, but it's also brainwashing. And brainwashing basically refers to a specific persuasive method. Well, not even one. Let's say specific persuasive methods that are used to recruit participation for a group or for a cause. There are forms of negative mind control that involves unethical practices, basically to program emotions such as fear, guilt, and even disagreeable behaviors such as promiscuousness, murders, and all different types of things. Then there's forms of positive mind control, which would be meditation, creative visualization, hypnosis, and things of that nature that actually help us better ourselves. But for the most part, most of the world is under the mind control that leads to those disagreeable emotions that we discussed already, that lead to your fear, that lead to you feeling guilty, that lead to you feeling resentment, or even jealousy. When we become envious of someone else, why do you become envious of somebody else? You become envious of somebody else because you were taught to want what somebody else has. And because you want that for yourself, you become envious or jealous of that person because they have something that you want that you feel you don't have. But in all actuality, you can have the same thing that they had. And if you can't have the exact same thing because it belongs strictly to them, that's fine. You can have something like it or something close to it, you know. It's just you making up your mind and taking the necessary steps that you need to take in order to get it. So there's also some beliefs that we hold on to, and they are nothing but straight lies. They are conditioned lies. So I'm going to review with you a few of the conditioned lies that I'm not going to say that you believe. I'm going to say conditioned lies that we have all been programmed to believe, which also contributes into the mind control, that the mental hypnosis that we have all been under until now. You know what I mean? So, this is why I'm making it my responsibility to come forth, to share with you guys so you can have a deeper understanding of what's conditioned and how to recondition the condition so that we can all evolve and grow in ways that we never expected ourselves to be able to grow. So let's talk about a few conditioned lies that you believe. So, you've probably been taught, and I know you guys have heard this one, I have to work hard if I want to make a lot of money. If you've heard that conditioned lie, I want you to put yes in the chat box. Have you ever heard, I have to work hard if I want to make a lot of money? But the truth is behind that, it's not about you working hard. It's about you working smart. It's about you even setting up things to where you actually have other people who can actually work for you to take a lot of the load off of your back so you don't even have to work at all. But we've been programmed to believe that I have to work hard if I want to make a lot of money. And that is a conditioned lie that you believe, or I have believed, or we all have believed. Humanity has believed. There's another conditioned lie. There are no good men or women out there, so I'll always be by myself, or I'll always have to share the person I'm with. That is BS from the pits of hell. That is not true. But why? Why do we believe that? Because when you look at the reality TV shows, is this woman sharing this man, and it's okay for the man to cheat, because you hear these program lies about, there's more women, a more women ratio to men, and all this other stuff, like people can't be faithful. It's BS. There are good men out here, and there are good women out here. You can't see them, and they're not showing up for you because you're holding on to the stigma and the belief that there are no good men and there are no good women, which means the universe has to make that true for you. So every time a woman or a man shows up in your experience that you end up connecting with, what ends up happening is it doesn't work out. Why doesn't it work out? Or why is it like a temporary love or a temporary lust? I don't even want to call it love. It's like a temporary lust. And it's a temporary lust simply because you have adopted the belief that she wasn't going to be good before she arrived, or he wasn't going to be good before he arrived. And because you strongly, subconsciously, that is the program running in your mind, whenever you meet someone that it seems like a match made in heaven in the beginning, they end up being the mate from hell in the end because of some subconscious beliefs that are still alive, in your programming, when it comes to men or when it comes to women. So another condition lie is the economy is bad. That's why it's hard to find a job. You know what? That's a lie too. I know that might sound hard for you to swallow. That might be a hard egg for you to swallow, because some people have been trying to find jobs for a really long time. But can I share this part with you about that belief? The reason why that's been the situation is because sometimes you're trying so hard to see a result that you actually create resistance between the result and what it is that you want. So that resistance that you're putting up, that you feel like you're trying to protect yourself, or you're trying to cover yourself, or you're trying to make yourself better, and all of this other stuff that you call yourself trying to work towards, is actually putting up a block. So that every time you're trying to get close to it, it's not letting you go through because you're not allowing. And the process of allowing is the only thing that will allow things to flow for you. But when we consistently trying to fight it or trying to make something happen, it's one thing to take the necessary steps that you need to make something come to life. But it's another thing to feel like you forcing something to happen, because all it's going to do is create the opposite effect. And that's not what you want. I know that's not what you want. So when it comes to blaming the economy, let me share with you, there are a bunch of millionaires and billionaires in the world. If the economy was bad and that's why it was hard to find a job or hard to become wealthy, what's the difference between you and the person who is raking in the dough? The difference between you and the person who's raking in the dough is their mindset. Their mindset is wired differently. But because most people have been brought up in this poverty consciousness, in this space and place of being that does not allow you to be, this is where the block comes in at, and then you believe that the economy is bad, and that's why it's hard to find a job, because that's all they talk about on the news. The economy is bad, there's no jobs, and blah, blah, blah. Yes, that's so true. Shakima says, before getting into any type of relationship, we need to make sure that we are right. Not perfect, but right ourselves. Mine's up. Mine's up. Somebody type mine's up in the chat for me on that one, Shakima. That was true fact, not opinion. If you are not right within yourself, and you trying to figure your own life out, and you're trying to fix a relationship or make a relationship work with somebody, it's not gonna work if you're all over the place. There has to be some type of grounding to you, to where you're secure in yourself. But if you're not secure in yourself, you're just going to create attract a partner that's going to be insecure in themselves somewhere. So you got to do that checkup from the neck up, as I always say. Watch what it is that's coming out of your mouth. I mean, out of your throat. You know, what is it that's coming out of here, that's coming out of here, that's coming from here and coming out of there? You know what I'm saying? So we got to be mindful of those things. So the next thing, a college education is necessary if I want a job. How many parents tell you if you don't go to college, you're not going to be nobody in life? You can't be successful if you don't get a degree. Well, how about most of the people that are millionaires never even finished high school? Most of them. Some of them didn't even go to school. Some of them just kind of grew up. Some of them were actually homeless. We can even talk about people like Tyler Perry, who was homeless, Jennifer Lopez, who was homeless, Keisha Cole, who was homeless. We could talk about Ace Ventura, who was just had a vision for what it was that he desired. All of these people had a vision first of what they wanted, despite their stories, despite what they saw. Because they held strong to the vision is why they end up accomplishing the goal. This is why they became prosperous. It wasn't because they went to college and got a 4-year degree and owe over $100,000 in college loans and tuitions, that when you finally do graduate from college and get a degree, you got to pay all this money back. So now you're working a 9-to-5 with a degree that you have that's only obligating you to pay money back. Like, does that really make sense? You go to college just so that you can pay it back and work a 9-to-5? I mean, I'm just sharing with you guys an example that a college education is not necessary if you want a good career or a good job. I'm not in any way saying don't go to college, because some things that you want to do may require you to go to college. But I want you to get out of this stigma of the simple fact that the only way to be successful or to be a multimillionaire, billionaire, or accomplish financial freedom is if you go to college. So that is a conditioned lie. The next thing is aging is a part of life. Aging is a part of life. Do y'all know how old I am? No, you don't. And you won't. Because I ain't telling you. So you can assume whatever it is that you want to assume is my age. But when they say that aging is a part of life, you know how some people, they turn 40 and they be like, oh, I'm beginning to get old. Oh, they start looking for everything to be wrong with their face. I'm getting wrinkles in my eyes. I'm getting all of these things. They start wilding about all of these different things that is wrong with, oh, my body, all of that. Do you know what that does? It makes your behind age a whole lot faster. The more wrinkles that you are seeing in your mind, on your face, they are coming into fruition, so you can expect for your eyes to look like this and for your face to look like this. All wrinkle up, toe up, from the floor up, okay? Because that is the energy that you're projecting out. So that is another conditioned lie. Aging, when they say aging is a part of life, you know, you're going to grow in age as far as a number. But if you're taking care of yourself and you're taking care of your body and you're putting the right things in your body, then aging is not something that you have to worry about. You know, your age will change, but it doesn't mean that you have to suffer from aging. Okay, so there's a lot of people in the world that look a lot younger than what they really are, and it's because they are taking care of themselves, or they have taken care of themselves. So another conditioned lie is life is painful. I don't believe that. I don't believe that life is painful. I believe that life is painful if you believe your life is painful. Will you have certain situations that are going to come up in your life, or certain things that you may experience in life that may cause you to feel pain? Yes. It's a part of the journey. You can't escape it. You have to feel these things, and you have to grow through these things, and you have to get through these things. Why? Because they're all a part of your evolution. They're all a part of you becoming stronger. They're all a part of you becoming wiser. They're all a part of you becoming who you were meant to be on this planet while you're in this earthly body that you're in. So, is life itself painful? No, life itself is not painful. But will you feel pain in the midst of certain things that you come up against? Yes, it may make you feel some kind of way. But life itself is just a journey. It's just an experience. What you put in it is what you're going to get out of it. So if you're consistently complaining and putting out all of these negative things of everything's going wrong, word, that's what you're going to get. Exactly. Shasha said, no, life is painful because they let it be. Exactly. And Shakima, I love what you just said. Mine's up. She says aging takes place on the inside. It does. It takes place inwardly. Oh my God. So please get rid of this conditioned lie. It's a lie. Okay. And this is the biggest one. And I'm probably going to get hit by a bulldozer when I say this one. Woo! Love hurts. Ouch! How many times have you heard that lie? Love hurts. Love, the real love, the feeling of love does not hurt. When you're in love with someone and you feel a connection with someone, if we're going to talk about that type of love, loving someone. When you're totally in love and everything is going well, that doesn't hurt. Love does not hurt. It's the things that people do that you are in love with that may cause you to feel hurt. But love itself does not hurt. That is a conditioned lie. So when you say things like, oh, love hurts, guess what? Every time you fall in love, you're going to find yourself hurt. You're going to find yourself hurt because that's the energy that you've been saying, that love hurts. No, love itself does not hurt. It's the actions that the people that you feel that you love, some of the things they do, you're not accepting who they are. because you can't change people. People have to want to change themselves. And because you're holding on to what they're not doing to please you, or whatever the case may be, that is what's causing the hurt. But it's not love itself that hurts. That is a conditioned lie. So the most powerful and influential programming tool that's used to condition you is media. It's all mental programming. So a lot of the things that we go through in life are subliminally and mentally programmed in us. These are basically programmed images that are stored in our mind that cause us to think, act, and react a certain way. So media actually uses these things to create controlled behavior, to create like this controlled behavior of things that we see on TV, in movies, on the news, in videos, and things of that nature. So you got to think about it, right? When we watch a movie, and let's just say, I don't know, Boys in the Hood. I don't be getting the characters' names right, so don't laugh at me when I make up a name. Anyway, let's say Boys in the Hood, right? So you was watching Boys in the Hood, and maybe Poo Poo stole something from John John. And because Poo Poo stole something from John John, hey Egypt, mine's up, thank you for tuning in. Yes, so because when you watch this movie, or whatever it is that you're watching, and in the movie, it appears that when somebody does something, steals from you, or does something wrong to you, then you're supposed to shoot them, kill them, stab them, whatever. This is programmed behavior. But if you were taught differently, that when somebody does something, you talk it out, you work it out, or basically it all depends on your environment. I must say that it doesn't depend on your environment, because you are a product of your environment. How are you a product of your environment? Because the things that you see taking place around you are the behaviors that you adopt. You adopt these behaviors. They become real to you. Because you believe this is what you're supposed to do, it's how you respond to certain things. So when we're looking at the music videos and we see the girls with their boobs all out and the short mini skirts with the crack of their behinds hanging out, we think that that's the way we're supposed to dress. But that's all control. So what happens? Because we believe if we want to look so good that we have to dress that way in order to make ourselves feel like a lady or feel sexy or whatever the case may be, that's all a lie. What ends up happening is the designers agree to create these clothes that continue to contribute to the illusion that this is what makes a woman sexy. Let me tell you what makes a woman sexy. Her mindset is what makes a woman sexy to a real man. Now, to a boy who's trying to figure his life out and he's all consumed by music videos and everything else, yeah, that's what makes a woman look sexy to him, because that's all he knows. But if you were to meet a guy who had his head on his shoulders, who's an entrepreneur, who's getting his own money and not worried about what's going on out here in society, then he's not going to be looking for the sexiness of your body. He's going to be looking for the sexiness of your mind. And then what's going to happen is, if you got that added sexy to it, that's a plus. Now he in love, because now he got all of those things together. I love you too, boo. I love you too, Egypt. Yeah, so when all of those things combine together, that's what moves him. But you don't have to be butt naked. Let me tell y'all something. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm Miss Goody Two Shoes. I never was the type of person that had my whole behind hanging out, except in a movie, a few movies that I played in. But you guys know that was my boyfriend at the time, and I did that because they begged me to do that. And if you missed the movie, too bad, because I'm never going back to those type of things in my life. But in any case, you know, yes, amen to that. Yeah, I'm never going back to those things in my life. It was what it was. You know what? It was good, because that's why you guys are here. If I didn't play those roles and I didn't do the shoot 'em up, bang bang movies and all of that stuff, half the people that follow me now wouldn't be following me on this transition, and their lives wouldn't even be able to be transitioned, because I wouldn't be here to be an example of what's possible for them. I would still be stuck in the old paradigm, but I'm not in that old paradigm. Yes, I have evolved. Yes. And so I understand that my true value lies within me, not on the outside of me. But trust and believe, I use those things Well, I used to use those things, and maybe I might do it just a smidget now, just to reel them in. But when I reel them in and I open my mouth, they get a completely different person that they thought they were going to get, which makes me smile. Because I love when people just automatically think that I am who I used to be, or when people automatically just think that who never knew me from the past and they meet me now and then they see me in this cute little dress or whatever, it's just like, oh yeah, I want to get at her. Boo boo, keep trying, because that'll never happen. At the end of the day, if I'm not intrigued with your mindset, then you can't intrigue me anywhere else. And that's just the bottom line. You know what I'm saying? So these movies and music videos and things like that, that is what is controlling us. That is what is teaching us how to behave, how to fight. We didn't come out our mother's wombs fighting. We didn't come out of our mother's wombs not being creative. When we came out as kids and we started to grow up, we was touching everything. We wanted to feel it. We wanted to see what it was. And mama said, stop, put that down. Don't touch that. When you ask mommy for some money, or mom, I wanted to get some, don't ask me for no money. I don't have no money. Money don't grow on trees. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. We heard these conditioned mental programming lies, and it's not even our parents' fault, because what happened? Our parents got it from their parents, and their parents got it from their parents, and their parents got it. It's just a generational thing that's just continuously passed down from generation to generation, and we pick up these behaviors. Excuse me, guys. I gotta plug up my phone because it says my battery is dying. All right, so hopefully this helps us. I think we're in good shape. Hopefully you guys can see me okay with this being at this level. But hold on. Okay, so I might look a little crooked, but it's okay. I'll just move over a little bit. No, I guess I really don't want it to be crooked. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, so yes. So we've been conditioned to believe all of these different things, and that's why I'm here to recondition your conditioned mind, okay? But what ends up happening is, so I'm sharing with you guys tonight these things that have controlled us for so long, right? Now, once you are aware of these methods of control, then you will be mindful when these things appear. You know, as they show up in your life, you'll be like, oh, okay. Even when we watch the news, they want us to believe all of these different things. So we get stuck in fear. And you guys know how I abbreviate fear. It's false evidence appearing real. Because when you fear something, it hasn't even happened. But you already created the projection in your mind that it took place. You already created the whole scenario before it happens. And that's the reason why media wins so much. Because all they got to do is put it on the news and say, oh, there's a terroristic attack in New York City right now. You didn't see anybody come off the plane. You didn't see nobody drop a bomb. You didn't see none of that. But automatically you start creating this movie, this mind movie in your mind of somebody who's going to drop a bomb in New York, and it might flop over into New Jersey, and we all might just blow up. And don't you know, that's a part of the plan. That's a part of the plan of destruction. But I'm not going to take you guys there yet, because I got to take you guys in steps where I'm taking you in this mindset process to get you to understand mindset before we go into masterminding and stuff like that. Thank you so much. Mine's up. I love you, Egypt. Mwah. So once you guys are aware of these methods of control, you will be mindful of what appears to be false and what is clearly true, or the opposite. Because now you'll be like, is that really true? Like, did somebody really, was the World Trade Center blown up really because of 2 planes crashing? Or was it more? Was it really arranged, like they say? Was it really arranged? Why do all of these numbers that come together make sense? Why do 9/11 and it's just so much. I don't want to take you guys too far too fast. So let me stay in my lane and not take you too far. But just be aware that don't believe everything you think, And don't believe that everything, I got to share this with you guys too, because a lot of the stuff that they put in some of the movies that are not brainwashing you the wrong way. There's a whole movie like Matrix that is giving you truth as to how this whole thing is set up. Dwight, where do you think these people come from with these ideas? You think they just pop in their head? No, it's because they know the truth. And then they're getting paid top dollar to project that. Those people who are aware know the truth, and those people who are unaware, like most people in humanity, become fooled, and they think it's just a fairy tale. Oh, that was a good movie. Yeah, it was a good movie, and it's actually the truth about what's happening in the world today. So the red pill, the blue pill, let me tell you, the red pill and the blue pill is really talking about the two hemispheres of your brain. Which one are you operating from? So are you operating from the limited mindset, or are you operating from the limitless mindset? So that's your red pill and your blue pill. But I'm going to take you guys there again. Like I said, I don't want to take you guys too deep too soon, because I want to make sure that you guys have foundation, okay? So I got a question for you guys. How often do you say, like, you get into some things, right, and you ask yourself, like, how did I get myself into this mess? I know sometimes I do it. I'm like, oh my God, how did I get myself into this mess? But the true thing is, how do we get ourselves out of the mess? And the good news is there actually is a way out of the mess. And it is a lot simpler than you actually think. So the key really is that we just simply have to learn some new things, some new tactics, and some new mindset, new ways of thinking. And we have to commit, C-O-M-M-I-T. We have to commit, not just say, oh, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. You got to not say it, but you got to do it, and you got to stick to it. So we got to commit to the necessary steps that we need to take in order to change it. I believe that we can all do that, right? I believe that if I gave you guys a few little things that we could do that could help us evolve and take us into another mindset that's going to bring us success, that's going to bring us a new evolution, not just for ourselves, because guys, please remember that when you change, you actually change the vibration on the planet, and you actually change things within the world just by you changing yourself. So when you change and you share this wisdom that I'm giving to you with somebody else, and then they're going to go share the wisdom with somebody else, and then that person's going to go share it with somebody else, it becomes a domino effect. Consistency is key. Absolutely, Egypt. Consistency is key. So anytime you become stagnant, I did a video for you guys last week, and I said what? I said procrastination leads to stagnation, and stagnation leads to dreams left unfulfilled. Why do they become unfulfilled? Because you can't be all over the place for what you say you want. You have to make a decision. What is it that you want? And decide that under any means necessary, you're going to accomplish that goal, that dream. And you don't let any person, place, or thing get in the way of what it is that you promised yourself. You promised yourself. How dare you break a promise to you? You are all you got. Do you know that? Yeah, we got people that support us, but in all truth, you are all you got. So why break a promise to yourself? If you promise yourself that you're going to do something that's going to help you, help yourself in the process, why not stick to it? Stick to it, because it's going to help change your life. And that's what it's all about. It's all about us doing something different so that we can see something different. Because the craziest thing is doing the same things over and over and expecting a different result. It's never going to happen. Exactly. Shasha says the same way you got yourself in the mess is the same way you can get yourself out of the mess. And that's so true. You got in it because you thought you knew what you was doing, right? And that's what made you end up in the mess. So now you need to rethink of how you're doing it and do it differently and go forth. Don't stay stuck in the past. The past does not exist anymore. And every time you keep bringing back old memories of old relationships, of things that happened. My mother wasn't there for me. My husband left me. Don't you know all of these things were a part of your experience so that you could grow through everything you need to go through? I tell you guys all the time, you don't go through anything. You grow through it because you have to learn from it in order for you to experience the journey of life. We came here to experience the journey. We came here, yes, to reevaluate. Yes. We came here to be observers. We came here to be co-creators. Do not allow your past to predict your present. Because that's what happens. If you stay in the past, you can be guaranteed that everything you just went through is just going to repeat itself with different people. You want to figure out what your future looks like. Start from there. Start from the end result and start creating backwards as to how you're going to get to where you said you wanted to be. Because that's the only way you're going to get there. If you keep focusing on old things, you're going to continue to get old results, and you're just going to stay in the same stuck place, leaving you stagnant, aggravated, broke, busted, and disgusted. And that's just the truth about it. So one of the things, it's a habit that I want you guys to take note of. And I'm not going to take it because what I want to do with this Minds Up session webinar thing is I want to bring it like over the course of a few days, because I don't want to give you guys way too much information and you forget. Because as you know, if you're not consistently implementing the information that I'm sharing with you, then you'll forget it and you'll go back to your old paradigm. And that's not what I want. My intention is for you guys to, for me to refresh you on a daily basis and then bring you some new information so that when you get the new information, you can add it to what it is that you added. There'll be some exercises and stuff that we're going to do to implement, and that's going to keep you on track. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to give you guys everything. I'm going to answer your questions and stuff like you might have in a little bit, but just some behaviors, a main behavior that I want to point out, because a lot of people don't even realize that they do it. So we have to ask ourselves, what is it that's on your mind that's contributing to the life that you're currently living? What is it that's on your mind that's contributing to the life that you're currently living? Now, when you first wake up in the morning and you see the light of day, what are the first thoughts that come to your head besides what time is it? Share with me. Share with me when you first wake up in the morning, what is usually the first thing that pops in your head in the morning? I don't know if y'all can hear my music, but I'm jamming. Thanking God. Yes, Egypt. Yes, we got to thank God every day. I thank God every morning that I wake up. Every morning that I wake up. So, but what things that, all right, tell me what else? What else comes to your mind when you first wake up in the morning? And I want you guys to be truthful. So after we thank God for waking us up, what's usually the first thing that we do? What's the first thing that usually comes to mind? So I'm going to give you some wake-up worries. Because usually what happens when we first wake up is we start worrying. We go back and we start thinking about what happened yesterday, what happened the day before, what happened last week, what happened last month, what happened 5 years ago with your ex, all these other things, all these wake-up worries that do not serve us, right? So I'm going to give you a few wake-up worries that I know I used to wake up with. I'm not trying to act like I'm holier than thou. I'm going to say I used to have these same wake-up worries. I just don't have them anymore. And I want you guys to identify these wake-up worries so that when you start feeling yourself thinking this when you first wake up in the morning, that you can recognize it and shift it and change your thoughts. As long as, put it this way, anything that you focus on more than 17 seconds is putting you into the vibration of creation. So you're beginning to manifest whatever that thought is. So even when you're arguing with somebody or you're having a debate or something like that, more than 17 seconds of your time is actually creating another argument. It's another argument in the making that's it has to hit because you already put the vibration out into the universe that's what you want. And if that's not what you want, then let people argue by themselves. You don't have to participate. You can speak your piece. You can say what it is that you need to say to voice your opinion, how you feel, your belief or whatever. Always remember that sometimes no matter what you say to the other person, you cannot change their mind. So to consistently keep repeating it, thinking that the person is going to get it your way because you're consistently repeating it, is not going to change anything. It's not going to change their mind. They think the way that they think, you think the way that you think, and that's just the way that it is. We have to learn how to love each other for each other, who we are, flaws and all. If it doesn't work for you, let them go and move on. If it's family, friends, or whatever, same thing. Just put a boundary as to how far you're going to go with certain things. So let's hop back into Wake Up Worries because I'm taking you guys somewhere else a little too soon again. Wake Up Worries. Oh boy, I got to get ready for work. Get up, I'm trying to find your clothes, trying to figure out what you're going to wear. Wake Up Worries. Dang, I gotta make sure this bill is paid. If I don't pay this bill, my phone's gonna get shut off. I'm gonna get put out my house. I gotta pay my rent. How am I gonna get this? That's a wake up worry. Another one. I wonder how my kid's doing. If the kids don't live with you, you start worrying about your kids. Like, well, I wonder if he ate today. I wonder did he go to work today? All these different wake up worries. Another wake up worry. You get dressed, you put your clothes on, and you get in your car and you go, I hate going to this job. My boss gets on my nerve. And if you guys have my book, Get Your Life Together, then you guys know I talk about this in the book. How your boss gets on your nerve because you automatically began repeating the fact that your boss get on your nerves. So your boss consistently finds more things to do to get on your nerves. If your boss is just a disagreeable person, maybe they miserable, maybe they had a bad day, maybe their marriage isn't working out. You don't know what's going on in that person's life that's making them act the way that they act. And because you don't know what's going on behind the scenes, don't take it personal. You don't have to take it personal. It's not easy to stop worrying about your kids, especially if they're out in the life. But the best way to stop worrying about your kids is realizing and accepting that they're grown up. That if they're grown up, or even some of the ones that are younger, you know, we want the best for our kids. But sometimes God is working on them and their lessons that they're going to have to go through the same way we had to get through our own lessons, and they got to get through. But one thing you don't want to do, and I talk about this in the book, and I also have a seminar that I do on this, that your thoughts are killing you. So your thoughts are making you sick. So when I talk to the people that I speak to when I do cancer events, and I tell them, how did you end up with cancer? Do you think you just woke up one morning and cancer just got there? Sometimes what happens is we stress ourselves out so much over other people and what they're doing. We can't control what other people are doing. And our kids, they're our responsibility, but truthfully, they belong to God. And God is dealing with them the way that He's going to deal with them. Yes, we have to care because as parents, we don't want to see our kids out there wilding, but we cannot kill ourselves because we're trying to save them. Yes, be a parent. Yes, do the best that you can, but don't kill yourself because you can't control your kids' actions sometimes. You can teach them, and if you've done everything that you possibly can to keep them on the right path, you did your part as a parent. You did your motherly duty. God didn't ask you to do everything. He asked you to bring the child into the world and let him do what it is that he got to do with them. We all got our journeys, including our kids, and we cannot hold them to our boobs forever. You know what I mean? So stop killing yourself. Our thoughts are killing us. It's making us sick, And that's a whole nother thing. I have a video on YouTube about that. If you want to see that video so that it could go, I go a lot deeper into it. Just type in Takiyah Diamond, your thoughts are killing you, and it should come up, and you can watch that video along with a whole lot other videos that I did that actually explain, you know, so much more other things. So let's get back to our wake up worries. We got about 3 more. How much money is in my account? So you start worrying about money, right? Thank you, Egypt. I'm glad that you received that, sweetie. And that's just God giving you the answers that you've been looking for. That's all that is. And he's just using me as a tool to deliver it to you. That's it. You know, that it's all God. And it's all God. So, how much money is in my account? You start worrying about that. You start checking your bank account. How much money do I got in my wallet? Oh, I don't have enough. You see all these wake up worries that are actually creating our day, guys. And what we wake up with on our mind is infecting. I'm not even going to say affecting. It is infecting our day. It is either contaminating our day with poison, or it is creating our day with positive things.